Y'all can hear me. Check, check, mic check. All right, getting the mics ready. I would like to welcome you to the Psyop series, and we're going to wait till everybody load up in here. I would like to welcome you to the Psyop series. We waiting till everybody load up in right quick. The last time you see me on here, make sure y'all get the likes up. The last time you see me on here, it was a little bit unprofessional, so we finna load up in, and I'm finna give you and drop this chapter 2, part 1, chapter 2 of the Psyop series. Okay. My live probably getting blocked on YouTube too. On TikTok. The live probably getting blocked on TikTok. Let's see. All right. Let's see. All right, the live probably getting blocked on TikTok, but it's all good. This is the part 2. Part 1, chapter 2 of the Psyop series. Last series, I had a lot of people in the chat. One of my followers, Dirty Cookie, asked why I had beer in my hand. I don't drink beer. I drink high-class liquor, and I don't even drink like that, but I pour elixirs. The whole point of me doing this series is to have you to understand what's your time and space, or the possibilities of your time and space right now, for you to be tapping into your supreme power, for you to be a supreme being. So even on the Osirian ritual, or any dealing with any elixirs, right? So dealing with any elixirs, with these altars that a lot of people, you should be having altars right now. So with these altars these energies probably would want alcohol. And a lot of people is known to use water with these energies, with these frequencies. That's okay. For the ones that's tapped in and you want to see quick work, get you your alcohol and do elixir work. You get what I'm saying? Do elixir work. This video that I'm giving you, and this whole thing that I'm dropping on the Psyop series, is to give you reference work to prove that you, in this time and space, most definitely, you should already be controlling your psyche. If you're not, that's okay. This is the time where you're supposed to be locked in and controlling your psyche, because all that could be happening is psychological programs that be going that's going against you, which in the woke or the conscious community, they'll label these spiritual attacks, spiritual warfare, psychological warfare. You get what I'm saying? So all you people with these understand kundalini, chakra points and everything, you should be able to control your psyche, and you shouldn't even be talking none of this if you're not controlling your psyche. This is reference work proven to you that somebody know more about you than you. And they also use the so-called black man and a black woman as an avatar. This is why you have the woke community, or the so-called woke community, conscious community, acting like hippies. This is to me, you dealing with psychological spiritual warfare, how everybody talking in this time and space. If you saying some shit, it shouldn't just be conspiracy theory. If you laying your conspiracy theory stuff down, then you should be able to have something that can combat that, so it can be polarized, so it's not just you losing all the time. You get what I'm saying? So you're not just losing all the time. You get what I'm saying? This whole thing is so you can develop your own concept, so you can protect yourself, your psyche, because people, whether they black or white, are monitoring you, let alone running you and using your vessel as an avatar right now in this time and space. This is why this is so serious, for you to be able to tap in and understand. You get what I'm saying? That this is all that they can do with psychological programs. And what and why? Who are you? If it's 47 things that they doing to kill you, then 45 of them 47 things is not working. So who are you? So what I'm doing right here is going to give you a video. What I'm doing right here is giving you a video. Well, I'm trying to give you a video of
At Vistaprint, we know you've got that idea for your business, the one that stops people mid-walk or makes your team say, "We're really doing this." But an idea is just an idea until it's printed on flags, vinyl banners, A-frame signs. Once it's on apparel, giveaways, out in the street, then it's happening. With Vistaprint's thousands of products,
out, going, how is this real? How did we know what is happening right now in the world? And yep.
So this is one of the things that be happening too. My stuff would be not working, and it was working all day long. Look at this. Working all day long. All right. This is Candace Owens talking about her realizing on the last Psyop series, it was blocked out. So I'm going to show you again on how she's saying that her and Charlie Kirk had handlers.
Kanye sent this now infamous tweet. I love the way Candace Owens thinks. I want you to know this. Everything for Charlie and I changed in the blink of an eye in that moment. And retrospectively, it would never be the same again.
You got to listen to this.
It was indeed a paradigm shift. I mentioned to you guys yesterday.
And this is messing up right now.
I watched Scott Adams. I did not know who he was at this time. Again, I was very green, and I'm not an overtly political person. So I didn't know who Scott Adams was, but I remember vividly watching him draw on a...
All right. So this is Candace Owens talking about her realizing that her and Charlie Kirk had handlers. And then I'm going to give you something that was dropped today before I released this. So something that was dropped today before I released this lecture. And I had mouth surgery, pulling out motors or whatever. And plus, I don't like to even talk with diamonds in my mouth, so people will be focused on me. Just like the last lecture I did, somebody seen me pouring an elixir to the altars and want to make a funny comment. This is why a lot of videos, the comments be off, because you missing the point. You missing the whole point. This is not about ego tripping right here. This is about activating yourself and truly tapping in. So what I'm giving you is reference work proving that people are tapped into you and utilizing you as an avatar, whether she know it or not. But she is most definitely getting used as an avatar. You get what I'm saying? She's getting used as an avatar and don't even know it. And after this, I'm going to give you what she released today. It's not about her. It's about the frequencies that control people. That's why you have to be highly tapped in so you're not getting emotionally involved. Because if you really that person, that you really tapped in, no matter how somebody appeared to you, you will be able to work with them or check them. Whether it's law or you dealing with money, it don't matter what it is. You get what I'm saying? Whether it's law or you dealing with money, no matter what it is. So as she demonstrating to you, she's giving you and acting as if she could be probably being honest. But this is showing you that you are getting used as an avatar. Somebody is able to tap into your psyche. And this is evident from off of what somebody else is saying. And then I'm going to give you what they dropped today. What they dropped today to prove that you are. So all these people talking, you living in a simulation. Get the likes up. Get the likes up. How is you living in a simulation? How you know about your third eye? How you know about Kundalini if you don't even know about your psyche and the wave format of your psyche, which involves alpha, delta, theta, beta, all of this? You get what I'm saying? So how are you tapped in and you using surface language, but you not even able to assist anybody, get anybody else through this? What I'm finna drop down and proving to you that you are somebody better and more than what you even think is. You are equivalent to a Maybach, and you never read the owner's manual. So in this time and space you're supposed to be on right now, it is the equivalent to it's the equivalent to you happen to find your own code so you can tap into your own spaceship. So instead of you being distracted, but all you chose to come here to do is to know yourself so you could tap into your own spaceship, but you keep getting distracted. And plus it's okay because it's a lot of things against you. So this is reference work proving that bagging up what majority will call handlers, okay?
Board and explain to his very many followers that something much bigger had taken place and that people needed to pay attention to his tweets for almost cosmic reasons. Let's take a listen.
You hear what she's saying, almost cosmic reasons.
What did he tweet? He tweeted,
listen,
I like the way Candace Owens thinks. 7 words. And he ripped a hole in reality.
You hear this?
With 7 words. Because Kanye is supposed to be over here. And Candace is supposed to be over here. And they're not ever supposed to say the other one said something, right?
Your average person can't comprehend what I'm dropping right now. They'll look at the diamonds in my mouth. That's why I got to be off camera. Stop tripping off of me and pay attention.
Knows history doesn't repeat. He's not a prisoner of the mind. He knows that the problem is not the solution.
Then they say thinking when you of the knowing. The so-called black man and the black woman is of the knowing.
I'm not even sure what party he would vote for.
They speaking in code words.
Whatever else you want to say about him, and I don't know enough about his actual, management skills or political ability, but he did something that you could rarely see. He actually just altered reality. He just made the entire conservative Twitter sphere just go something like this. It's like your head just went, what did I just see? Did I really see this? Now forget about, which
shit, my bad.
you liked the best. That's not even the story. Forget about whether you think Candace has everything right or everything wrong. That's not the story.
And I did the same thing.
Is that these two people that shouldn't be in the same conversation in 7 words, Kanye just changed that. And he just freed.
So listen, what he can't explain because he don't have a soul. So even her, they really think that nobody understand what's happening. This is a quagmire that's happening. He's literally describing a quagmire. He's at a quagmire right now. Do you understand? So all I'm trying to give you references for is that your psyche is so important that people have a signs on it. And they could be utilizing you as an avatar. This is beyond conspiracy theory. You get what I'm saying? So what this guy is also prison of the mind. This is why you as a black man and a black woman, you is of the knowing. So even when these people are talking in cold words, and anybody they show on TV and in height and or in light or highlight, a lot of these people do not be full-blooded Aboriginal people. They have some African in them, Nigerian in them, Ethiopian, Eritrean. You get what I'm saying? South African, Caribbean in them. A lot. So this is the psychological program that they got your black ass chasing after American dream, and they will never bag you because you are full-blooded, so-called the true American. So you will see somebody like this, and she probably is a full-blooded Aboriginal, but her mind is European-centric view. Her husband is white. So you are looking and bear witness at somebody who is up under psychological, spiritual warfare and comfortable with it. It's nothing in her for her to break out of this, man. And then this white guy that's showing this, he don't understand Kanye supposed to be over here. Candace supposed to be over here. He's in scientific form or science form. He is describing a quagmire. And the battery's charged.
From the mental prison. Kanye, in 7 words, unlocked a mental prison. And is bringing you to the golden age.
Of course they're going to put the damn thing on. Of course they're going to put a commercial on. Bear with me, y'all.
Leading the fight against Donald Trump is Bill, who called for abolishing ICE and voted to stop Trump's war on Iran.
Well, they won't even let me mute the TV. So I'm proving that you see how I get fucked with too. You get what I'm saying? I'm not trying to blame nothing or nothing. So let's see. Let's pick back up.
On that, and I find that clip to be really fascinating. And here's what I would say that happened thereafter in short order, because it was definitely something. I believe, and I'm saying this retrospectively, that from that moment onward, Charlie was an expression of Kanye's.
Listen!
I thought that he was just saying that. I thought that he was referring to just Hollywood. I now very much believe that I have had handlers.
Do you hear what she's saying?
2018.
She admitting that she had handlers. Are you hearing what she's saying? Get the likes up. Get the likes up. Are you hearing what she's saying?
How I remember it in no particular order. Okay. I tweeted back at Kanye and I said, please take a meeting with us. And before I could hear directly from Kanye's people, I heard from David Horowitz of the Freedom Center. He's the one that first invited me when I was going viral on YouTube to this conference. I also know that.
I have her to push. I need you to push. She don't know what to do, and I'm picking up from the mic.
Message to me said, "Oh, my son knows Kanye, and I would like to facilitate that meeting."
Oh yeah,
Suddenly
the mic.
Eric Weinstein.
Oh yeah, I want to use this. The mic ain't working.
He reaches out and he pretends that he wants to be a friend to me. He's a bad person. I can tell you that right
Damn,
away.
the mic.
I learned that very quickly. But at the time, Charlie and I, we were
the mic off.
Israel.
My bad.
That's, I think, kind of relevant. And we were just so amazed by the tweet that we let all of these people, like this was just our moment, as in they really did just want to help. Another player in this was Rick Rubin. Yeah, the big music industry. Rick Rubin also
I'll
got
just
into
use
the
this
mix and wanted to facilitate certain meetings. I took it again as a sign of help. On the Turning Point USA side, Tyler Boyer, who I could do a whole episode on. It's actually he's more so relevant that I can't fit him into just one episode. He was with the only person that was with Charlie before. He introduced him to every person that Charlie knows. He starts hiring a bunch of people, telling Charlie that we need to hire bigger and more professional money raisers, PR people like Andrew Colvett, you name it. And it feels like at every moment there were forces that were trying to tell us this is not allowed to happen. Kanye's handlers are telling him. Kanye's got a team of people telling him He's not allowed to be involved in politics. And he's getting angrier and he's getting angrier about that. This is in the time of Kim Kardashian and Kanye. She wanted nothing to do with it, okay? I've been to their house, and political friends are telling Charlie and I, don't get involved with Kanye because he's crazy. You guys are on a trajectory. Don't speak to Kanye. It's going to backfire in your face. And I'm like, no, we dreamed this. We wanted him to be a part of Brexit. Like, this is exactly what we wanted. At the exact same time, I felt, and you've heard the story very many times, Charlie has told it, I have told it, out of nowhere, I got this spiritual pull that I needed to go to the UK. Charlie and I had no business in the UK at all. There was no reason for us to go to the UK. There was nothing happening in the UK. I have the messages. I'm like, Charlie, we should go to the UK. I don't know why. I'm getting the vibe. We need to go to the UK. We need to go to the UK. We need to go to the UK. Like, we got to go to London. And we did in the future. First, dealing with this sort of pressure cooker that kept happening between Kanye, me, Charlie. It was in October, after Kanye had helped me to start designing the logo for Brexit, that Kanye's...
And all of this is blocking my remote. So I'm literally letting you see that you have to control your psyche. She don't even know that she have a handler. And she didn't even know that she had a handler.
And of course, Brexit, and he cracked. I mean, you guys remember this headline. I'm taking you back to 2018. Kanye West distances himself from Brexit and Trump. He says, I've been used to spread messages. Kanye never wrote this statement. One of his handlers did, but he said, my eyes are now wide open, and I now realize I've been used to spread messages that I don't.
So she's giving you evidence of her not understanding she had a handler. My apologies on the last video I dropped as well. My house is getting redid, remodeled, and me being all over the place. I like to be way more professional than I am. So, and I also have my daughter up in the office overviewing my lecture. So she also assisted me. This lecture that I'm giving you, the psychological series, right? The Psyop series. This that I'm giving you is for you to have an understanding and a confidence to tap into what nobody know about you, to have a supreme understanding of yourself. You get what I'm saying? And to take this serious, and to, because you got everything against you, all the way down to your imagination, all the way down to your love. So what you need to understand, and what I'm giving you, is something to be able to combat this with. Let alone you could contact me dealing with consultations or psyche workshops. I'm a one-man army. I do a lot of this myself. You get what I'm saying? I urge you to be able to tap in and be careful about who you listening to. This is why I took off a lot of things, because people be, as far as my person, because people be tripping off of what I have on and all this, rather than listening to the message. Your brain, your mind, yourself, the I and me is very important for you to tap in and to be able to control. What you know is your psyche, what you know is your ego, is very important right now for you to be able to tap in and control that. And if you need assistance, I'm here for you for the consultations, and also having psyche workshops in the fourth quarter to end of this year. So you can have somebody remote viewing you as in a group, let alone making you do things that you not even aware of. Dr. Webb also has CIA and FBI files that's to the public, which is the first so-called scientist to have these experiments being backed and proved by what you know as the government, running psychological programs and running your mind. One of the experiments that's to the public that you can look up is them literally implanting memory in an individual. For example, as a grown woman. They'll put the memory in as her uncle raped her and her uncle never raped her. Just to have an experiment to see if their studies and experiment is working and if it's true. You get what I'm saying? So this is reference work that I'm giving you out of somebody else's mouth. And in the modern day time or in this matrix, you will know everything that I'm saying is handlers. So with me being a metaphysical teacher, I can say something all out of space, but I'm going to still give you examples and reference work to where you can understand this, to where it won't be rocket science.
I am distancing myself from politics and completely focusing on being creative. Now, that was not the most honest interpretation of things, and I reflect on it, and I'm so grateful that I called Mike Cernovich and I said, like, why is Kanye doing this? Why is he saying this? I have pictures of him standing over the guy, directing him on what he thought was cool with the logo. Like, should I drop them? And Cernovich gave me really sound advice and said, don't. You have no idea what he's going through. And I'm grateful to Cernovich for that, because I now know what Kanye was going through and what that pressure is like, and when they come for your family and come for everything, and it's like all you have to do is disavow this and disavow that, and everything will go back to normal. So yeah, Kanye.
And this is over a lot of people's heads, so you got to pay attention. Understand this, man.
Anyways, I think I was saved.
Get the likes up too as well.
I think I was saved by this weird pull that I had to go to the UK. It was, now I realize, an unexpected anomaly.
Listen to what she said.
Unplanned trip on nobody's calendar. Nobody was setting it up. I just like, Charlie, get a meeting with whoever, make anything happen. I need to be in the UK. I just think that like something good will happen.
This is why you got to be careful with these black people, black men and black women. You got to, it's time to really link up with your spiritual tribe, man.
Lone donors to wrote that beautiful letter that has impacted the world. Like true friends of Charlie, who stood up and said that what Turning Point USA is doing is wrong. So yeah, we had an event, and obviously I first advised my husband, and I had told you guys the truth. I looked at him, and everyone's like, "Why'd you get engaged after 18 days?" I have never been. It's inexplicable. I looked at him, and I felt like I had already known him, and it felt exactly like seeing a sigh of relief. Like it felt like a sigh of relief. I was like, "This is. I need to go with him." 2 months later, and with that event in London far behind us, so that was in December that I met my husband, that I convinced Charlie to his credit card and booked the flights. John and Maria made the event happen. 2 months later in February, something really strange happened.
Listen.
Someone, and I believe it was someone at BuzzFeed.
Listen.
Of a video from the Q&A.
Listen. This is very important.
Over 2 months later. And they stripped the question that was asked of me. You'll remember the scandal. What I'm about to tell you about this is crazy. Again, I was green, so I didn't understand why suddenly they were sharing a clip and they were saying that I was justifying Adolf Hitler killing Jews. The person asked me, "Candace, you describe yourself as a nationalist. That is sometimes a dirty term because people don't like the words nationalism." And I answered by saying, well, that's because they wrongly attributed it to Adolf Hitler, and he wasn't a nationalist. I didn't even mention Jews at all. I'm going to actually show you what I said, and I was standing next to Charlie when I said it, which is relevant. Take a listen.
I agree. I actually don't have any problems at all with the word nationalism. I think that it gets, the definition gets poisoned.
She not knowing when this overseas interview, they also having remote viewers monitor them and also have their handlers monitor them. So at the same time, you have a person that is of Aboriginal or so-called black descent, not descent, but so-called Aboriginal, so-called black woman, unaware or no control over her psyche to understand that she have a handler. This is why this is important, man.
By leaders that actually
get the likes up. Get the likes up. We need the likes up.
So when you think about, whenever we say nationalism, the first thing people think about, at least in America, is Hitler. You know, he was a National Socialist, But if Hitler just wanted to make Germany great and have things run well, okay, fine. Problem is that he had dreams outside of Germany. He wanted to globalize. He wanted everybody to be German, everybody to be speaking German, everybody to look a different way. That's not, to me, that's not nationalism. So in thinking about how it could go bad down the line, I don't really have an issue with nationalism. I really don't. I think that it's okay. It's important to retain your country's identity and to make sure that what's happening.
Now, she don't have a problem with nationalism because your correct status will link you as a national. So she don't have a problem with a national because whatever her informant or CI work is for her to be a foreign national. Psychological program that's over the so-called black man and black woman heads. These people made an oath so they can be foreign nationals. That's why she don't have nothing against nationals. You got to understand occultism, and you got to understand or be able to control your psyche because they running your ass. This is why a lot of black men have a problem and can't articulate what is the problem. Because a lot of our black women is bagging the Marduk, the Baal, the Luciferian, the European-centric view. That's why a lot of our black women have a bunch of accolades and no family. Do you hear what the hell I'm saying? And I'm not against the black woman. I support the black woman like a mug. But I'm using this because the black woman is this the time where you to be highly understandable, highly intelligent. Instead of being the baddest bitch, the baddest goddess, be able to read the room, which links to consciousness. Being able to read the room links to consciousness. These people can't read the room. This is why she just now finding out that they had handlers and the nigga is dead. She don't understand that she is a piece to their puzzle. She is a piece to their chessboard.
Here, which I think is incredibly worrisome in terms of the decrease in the birth rate that we're seeing in the UK, is what you kind of want to avoid. So I don't have anything problem. I have no problems with nationalism. It's globalism that I try to avoid.
Amendment 5
is globalism that she's trying to avoid. It's globalism that she's trying to avoid. They put that little poor little baby in some shit she don't even know. She just she's an egomaniac. This the last thing that you want to do. This time last year, she probably already dead. But this time last year, she's going to have to get out of her as well as so many other men that's pushing this patriarch, Abrahamic religion. That shit is over with. Revelations. Chapter 21, verse 1. Revelations chapter 21, verse 1. Bearing witness to the old world being over and incoming the new world. Revelations 21, verse 1. Let's go.
Online campaigns are inorganic, and that what actually happened was this was a hit. This was a hit. They pulled the clip, and then a bunch of people wrote articles saying that I supported Adolf Hitler, and that I said if Hitler had just wanted to make Germany great again, then okay, fine, that's fine. No context again. And it was like a severe cancel culture attack saying that I supported Jews being killed in the Holocaust. It was insane. Again, Charlie and I were very new, and this was very scary. We were kind of coming up on a high point going.
And bear with me, it's almost over. This irritates me. Black people, black men and black women, so egotistical, so much of an egomaniac, you can't not recognize the spiritual psychological warfare at play. Listen.
And at the same time, the Simon Wiesenthal Center, and this is again, another interesting piece of this, put me, like, issued a statement against my comments. Simon Wiesenthal Center, we're like the official Holocaust people, and this girl is obviously supporting Hitler. It was heavy. It was it was so heavy, and I laugh in retrospect because I thought it was all real. I didn't realize this was a matrix of.
Name one black woman, a real black woman, giving a fuck about Hitler. This is what we are dealing with. Now you have the so-called woke and conscious community talking about the black nobility. Everything you got taught in school, you were African American, you was Negro. This is a psychological program for you to be comfortable with the so-called future. This is why you got all these immigrants in here, let alone Africans, and them or these people can't even, are acting like they can't differentiate you from the African. Because a Farrakhan or whoever kind want to think they American. You a dumbass, do you understand? Shit. Psychological programming that is happening. Psychological programming that is happening. All the way down to the past of these young black girls and men getting killed, unalived, trying to have you emotionally involved. Let's finish this imbecile.
People who wanted to pull me and Charlie apart. That's what they wanted to do. They wanted to put pressure on him. So donors would pressure him and be like, hey, she's supporting Hitler, it's such a bad look. And then they would find me broken and scared and upset and going, I don't know how you would think that I would support Hitler. And that's what I was saying. This amazing thing happened, that despite this, that the hand that came out to me and offered me a job was PragerU. PragerU offered me a job. This is early 2019.
Another handler. Listen.
We know that you don't believe these things. And at the time, I thought they were just being friends. I don't know what to think anymore. Marissa, straight the CEO, has never shied from telling people that she is in the IDF. She worked intelligence in the IDF, right, in Israel. And I took the job with them, and Charlie and I still climbed together, but we were also working apart at the same time. We kept doing the campuses and the campus tours, but I was officially working for PragerU. And one of the first things that happened, almost,
man, listen to her give her own documentation.
Here's what you have to do, was Marissa took me to the Simon Wiesenthal Center. And again, I was so grateful. I was like, who do I have to say sorry to so that they know that I don't hate Jews? This is what happened. I'm telling you, this is what happened in 2019. And there was like some chief rabbi looking character, and him and her spoke in Hebrew. I didn't understand a word of what was said in front of me. And then we left, and everything was fine.
Do you hear what they said? A lot of us is oblivious to a lot of the cold shit that's allowed for you to align with, is aligned and set up for your own detriment. She said they was talking Hebrew. She said they was talking Hebrew. These are code words. So these are elites, what people will call elites, having a conversation with each other through symbology.
My reputation was restored temporarily. Throughout that time frame thereafter, I'm doing my show. I think my first episode with PragerU was in March. Charlie's still climbing. Turning Point USA, as you know, became a behemoth. I remember speaking at their conferences and saying that they were now running like a military operation. It was so efficient, on time, it was tactical. And I did not realize at that time how prescient that thought would become.
Man, you just got to really be careful out here. This is the time to be aligning yourself with the real truth. Not no community, your commune, okay? Now, let's listen to what was dropped 6 hours ago. What I'm laying down to you, right, is the spiritual warfare and the psychological programs that's at play that's literally against you. It's so important for you to be able to control your psyche and throw away the old traditions. And it's okay if you old or feel like you old, you feel like you late. You chose to tap in right now. So all of this is okay, man. It's a lot of things that's against you. You got a lot of people talking parasites. That's why the next lecture that I'm going to drop is external stimuli. External stimuli. The Psyop series, part 1, chapter 3, the external stimuli is after this, to show you what you got to do, man. I might be waiting on y'all. I ain't waiting for nobody, though. But for you to be able to utilize this, and as much pain as I be going through, surgeries, law, racism, own self-hatred of the black woman or the black man, anything you can fathom, I'm going through it. I done been through it. This is why I urge you to tap in and control your psyche. After this lecture, it's external stimuli. So that'll be part 2, chapter 1. And part 2, chapter 2 would be Thomas and Thomasinus. Proven to you and given the documentations bagging up what I'm saying. These, to me, is just recorded data. So it's prevalent for you to be able to do your work and tap in. It's okay if you don't understand anything. What if you here to create your own stuff? What if you here to generate your own occupation? To create your own earnings? What if?
This is Steve Butts. Butts book.
So what I want you to understand is that I'm giving you documentation and reference work and data work, man. And my own ego do not approve certain things because I be wanting to be so professional. But I also got to understand that this is data that I'm doing. I'm recording data.
Really weird. He never liked Charlie. Charlie never liked him.
This is what was dropped today. It's not about her. It's about the frequencies that's at play. And if people are doing things to distract you, then who are you? The whole point of me even doing lectures is to be able to reach to that one person that feel like can't nobody relate to them. Don't give up now. The time is now for you to be able to tap in. All right.
In fact, anybody who knows Charlie Kirk knows that he did not like Ben Shapiro because Ben Shapiro attempted to stop Charlie from rising. It's just a fact. Like everybody else, he began his career. Ooh, that's cool. It's Ben Shapiro. I'd love to work with him. And then you find out about Ben Shapiro's character and how he operates behind the scenes to stop people. Just like Megyn Kelly has had that experience recently. It is just who Ben is. It's how he was raised. And apparently he's lost to his father, who controls accounts and uses his pen names to write nice stuff about his son and follows him wherever he works. There is a psychopathology there without question. Now,
listen,
kept saying that I don't know how, but I do feel that somehow Ben Shapiro was set up in this. Pick up the bloody mic. He races to give $1 million. His company is suffering, but he's giving $1 million to Report USA. Erica allows him to open despite what she knows, which is that her husband didn't like this guy.
What is the reason why I'm showing this right now is because it be people that they align to have you believing in this matrix, the conspiracy theories, the what ifs. So this shit will be happening because a lot of so-called black people is tapping in and breaking the bullshit. And then they'll have agents like this bag in conspiracy theories where it's no end. It's no answers. That's why they have to do these psyops, because it gives you no answers.
What is going on here? What is actually happening here? Then there was this really strange phone call that I had with Matt Walsh, and I did not know that Ben Shapiro was in town on this date when I had the phone call. I'll talk about that another time because we were pressed for time, but I explained to my team, I made it clear to them on that December day that I just feel like Daily Wire is somehow more involved in this, and I don't really know how. Well, guess what? The answer arrived. Ben Shapiro shared something that's stunning. It's crazy. When we left, we were talking about this car ride. Something is not right about this car ride to the hospital, which Brian Harpole is suing me over and using Ben Shapiro's lawyers and Ben Shapiro's brother-in-law to do so. Right? Ben Shapiro's lawyers who have been suing me and my family for years because he can't earn, he has to steal. And the courts is a great way to do that. Violations. You violated a non-disparagement. I'm going to sue you. I'm going to sue you.
So this is proof, business-wise, that these people are in cahoots with each other because each other acclimate and create a form of currency for each other. So all they have to do is, imagine you having somebody to bank your numbers, your stocks, your income, turn your income into earnings. So this motherfucker right here is a white person, what you would call a white person. This is why she would look at every black man, because she's oblivious that we don't have the support bagging of what the white man have. Whether she know it or not, she's giving up psychological program, reference work, and information.
You can't win without stealing. Ben Shapiro made this admission, which was shocking, about what took place in that very short car ride, approximately 7-minute car ride to the hospital after Charlie got hit. Ben Shapiro was receiving live updates from somebody in that vehicle.
I remember where I was when all this was happening. I was in Los Angeles. I had sort of a breakfast/lunch meeting with somebody, and I got the news that Charlie.
Say, listen real quick.
I remember where I was.
A 7-minute car ride to the hospital after Charlie got hit. Ben Shapiro was receiving live updates from somebody in that vehicle. Take a listen.
I remember where I was when all this was happening. I was in Los Angeles. I had sort of a breakfast/lunch meeting with somebody, and I got the news that Charlie had been shot, and my security was on the phone with Charlie's security because nobody knew what the hell was going on. Well, Charlie was still in the back of the car, and we were sort of getting updates along the way. There's visual timelines that show Charlie's body being carried to a vehicle within minutes of being shot. Apparently, he was still alive at the time. Again, I know that only because my security was talking to his security in the car.
Somebody make that make sense. Go ahead. You're going to have to become a conspiracy theorist to make that make sense. This is the enemy of Charlie Kirk is telling you that he was receiving live updates during 7 minutes, critical minutes, while Charlie was bleeding in the back seat, while Brian Harpole, let's go back and actually show our diagram. Brian Harpole stipulates that it couldn't have been him that was writing those updates because he was just packing like 40 feet of gauze into Charlie's neck, and it couldn't have been Rick Cutler because Rick Cutler had him. He had the tattoo. He was holding his brother. He saw the tattoo with two hands because the door was wide open because Charlie's so tall he was hanging out, and there's evidence of that because they caught a police tail. Then we have Frank Turek. Now his story, I will say, is a little complicated. We were told he was praying in the backseat, but also Frank says that he started CPR. Brian Harple says no such thing took place because CPR would have been the wrong thing to do while he was bleeding. Gets a little. Frank Turek is an option for sure. Yeah, Frank Turek is an option of someone who could have been statusing Ben Shapiro's security during this time. You've got Dan Flood and Justin Davis. Justin Davis was driving upwards to 100 miles per hour.
Listen,
I'm going to say he didn't phone Ben Shapiro's or answer the phone call of Ben Shapiro's security to update him because he was focused on the road. That would make the most sense. If the story that Brian Harpole told was true, that leaves us with Dan Flood. Either Dan Flood or Frank Turek were providing updates. But it couldn't have been Frank Turek. I'm sorry, I've lost my mind. Frank Turek left his kids on FaceTime. I'm so sorry. We're playing Guess Who right now. Frank Turek's down. He's down. Remember, his phone, he just didn't even realize while he was praying out loud, his kids were just left on the phone on FaceTime. That's what he's doing. So it can't be Frank. You're down. Bye-bye, Brian. Bye-bye, Rick Cutler. Justin and Dan. In this dark game of Guess Who?
you hear her talking about a game?
Called 911 because they've never said who called 911 because the 911 calls that were released.
So her job is to keep up the conspiracy, man. I know a lot of people haven't made it this far to understand why I'm doing this. This was made for you to keep upholding conspiracy angels that's coming back into to assist you to save yourself. A lot of my work get blocked like you wouldn't even believe it, man. And the incense, this is an incense burning. A lot of my work get blocked where you wouldn't even believe it. This is really in this matrix where all these stupid people at. This is the best I can do for you. This is why it's prevalent for you to pay for consultation and workshops, or tune in to the morning Wake Up with Rock show, where you can catch me on for free. The Discord, catch me on for free. Opposites Attract, 8 p.m. every Monday through Friday, Central Time, where you can catch me on for free. And you can, ask questions and for your own self, get information for your own self. Because if you're doing it out of real truth and love and abundance, it's going to be profitable for you.
Show that neither of them called 911. Is there a missing 911 call? Why would we not have it? That's public information. Who called 911? Someone called 911 and then called Ben's security or answered Ben's security's call and provided updates. So Ben knew what was happening before the rest of the world found out around 12:38 p.m. By the time that video began making the rounds, it was 12:38 p.m. If you go back and check on X, Ben knew sooner because someone in that car informed his security that Charlie had been hit. Rather than focusing on the chaos of trying to save Charlie's life, they said, you know what? 911 can wait. Ben needs an update right now.
And I hope you heard her, what she said and what she was able to, because she could be operating out of her honest point. The problem is that her psyche is out of her control. This is why it's evident for you to control your psyche. Hey, tap in with me. And the lecture ain't even started yet. Ain't that a motherfucker? So tap into controlling your psyche, controlling your ego, where nobody be able to play with you or do no type of dark magic, black magic. Link up with me and see the future layouts and ley lines for you to be able to intersect for your own self. So you can get protected by the ministry without ever seeing me or feeling like that somebody is finessing or scamming you. The whole point about consultation work, psyche work, even if you want to join a ministry, what you will have at the end of the day is something that this matrix never gave you and supported you on. And that's full-blown control of your ego and your psyche.
I know what my gut is telling me about Charlie's assassination. I've been clear on the fact that I believe Israel is involved, and I've been clear on the fact that there is something very dark about the history of Ben Shapiro, the way that he stalks and obsesses. I've made it clear on this show that it's getting to a...
So these people like this, white or black, is oblivious of how much work the so-called Afrocentric community, the so-called woke community, so-called spiritual community did for us not to have to suffer behind conspiracy theories.
Point when you get fired from a company and for 2.5 years they stalk you via the court system, there's something that starts to feel dangerous about it. And I've been saying he's too close to this situation. That is just too close to this situation for someone who was not friends with Charlie Kirk. And the panic of which a bunch of influencers then tried to come out and persuade the public that this was normal, that they were all receiving up, that they're lying through their teeth. Tim Pool is lying through his teeth. He did not receive updates from somebody in that car about Charlie's status. Jeremy Boring, who just wanted to insert himself, jumped in and tried to pretend that it was my security that was getting those updates. I confirmed that is a lie. They said they were not on the phone with anybody in that car during those crucial minutes.
So without her even knowing it, she's giving the reference work and the evidence of her and the so-called elites battling over the propaganda that's supposed to be laid out for people to be able to believe and understand. Whether you believe it or not, the world is stupid. So majority of the people is relying on outside validation, which what you will call outside sources.
Okay, Jeremy Boring lied through his teeth. So who on Ben's IDF Israeli Mossad security apparatus team, former IDF, was receiving updates about Charlie's condition and what? And who was Ben Shapiro at lunch with? In fact, I'd like to know so much if somebody can provide evidence of who he was at lunch with. Because I have a hunch. I have a hunch of who he was with in LA when this happened. I will put up $10,000 bounty on that piece of information.
What?
Tips at CandaceOwens.com. 10,000 bounty. Just want to know who was at lunch with. I don't like this.
Because you know and don't nobody know.
Me
ain't that crazy?
Cold
world.
What beyond my gut and beyond my dreams, the statement from Andrew Colbert, it was supposed to be you. Was it? Was it? Is it fair to ask if it's plausible that when Charlie was taken to the Hamptons, the phone call no one wants to address from Bibi Netanyahu, is it fair to ask the question if it was literally supposed to be me who was supposed to be back on tour with Charlie? Did he say no to killing Candace Owens? And then did he become a liability because he said no? What did Charlie turn down from Bibi Netanyahu while Erica was there? Again, the people that were present don't even want to acknowledge the phone call. I only got an acknowledgement that it happened from Erica in person.
See, this is the sickest game ever ran. I'm going to tell you what Charlie Kirk possibly didn't want to do. And he probably could still be alive. Okay, and I'm getting blocked on YouTube. I mean, on. Okay. All right, so I'm getting blocked on YouTube and everything sharing this information. What I want you to understand is that anything outside yourself has a duty. So this is why a lot of people be mad, and then you turn around and then you will be happy. Because the energy that you think you control, you don't run. All the way down to sex. This is why when you mad, you stop being mad. Because the energy done went somewhere else. I want you to use that reference work for yourself to where you don't have to worry about anything that you can't control. And to get a power back to yourself. My molars is out. I got diamonds all up under my fat lip. And with my own ego, I be trying not to show something where people can align me as a thug. I want to thank you. The next lecture is the Psyop series. Thomas is Thomasinus. I want to show you and prove to you with the reference work that your psyche is up under somebody else's control. And how important it is for you to control your psyche. Before Thomas and Thomasina lecture, we'll have the external stimuli. So one can be familiar with their self. To create a new occupation for yourself. To throw away the old and come into the new. I love you all that's supporting and been giving the donations. Signing up for the Psyche workshops already. The people that's been interacting with me on the consultations. I really, really, really want to thank you. I really, really, really want to thank you. This is my elder that I'm going to end this lecture with. And I hope that you will be able to tap in and dive deeper in and do your own research, your own work. So you will understand where I'm coming from, how important it is for you to be able to control your psyche. And if you donating any funds to me, it's literally going towards research. I have consultations, free consultations, $35 to $50. And the Psyche workshops, contact me if you're serious. This last excerpt that I'm going to share And when I'm talking, it look like that I'm missing shit. I'm not missing nothing. I got clothes in my mouth. This shit's crazy. I want you to be able to utilize and pull something for yourself. Pull something for yourself. To be able to help yourself and to be able to help the people that's supporting you.
Different types of changes. And the reason why you're going through these particular changes is because your physical body is the low level, but your spiritual body is now getting to the point that it is rejecting your physical body. Now, let me explain this. What this means is, if you have a soul and you were an advanced incarnation and came back down here to be at a period of time or learn a certain amount of discipline that you can help your people. And 98% of everybody in here is that type of person. How many people in here want to know knowledge? First of all, raise your hand. How many people are interested in knowledge? If you're interested in knowledge and you love knowledge, for the simple fact, 10, 15 years ago, we would have had to been out partying somewhere or in some church somewhere. But the mere fact you sitting up in a damn classroom on Saturday night lets you know that you are an advanced soul. Because if you weren't an advanced soul, there's no way that you would accept this. You would reject it.
There's no way you wouldn't accept this if you were an advanced soul right now.
So you need to come back in the future and help your people. What is happening because now you have been sunk into slavery or you have actually lost your mind and you now just regaining your memory. What is actually happening is this. You had a contract that you needed to doggone fulfill. And you're obligated to fulfill that contract. So now what has happened is your higher spirit is the one that incarnated back down here. So let's say your higher self or your true self have a goal in mind. They want you basically to understand a certain amount of knowledge that is key for itself to wake up. Your soul wants you to understand a certain amount of knowledge that is key for your soul to wake up. But yet you have other agendas. And all of a sudden, when you find these other agendas, no matter how hard you try, they seem to fail over and over and over again. You will understand that your own energy, your inward energy, is making a hostile environment around you because it wants you to liberate it by giving it the keys and the nourishment that can make it grow and illuminate. You get this? So what will happen is it will actually reject the physical body. And so everything around you will repel from you. You see? And you don't understand what is happening, why your job, why all this, and why all this here, why I can't seem to do this, why I'm a failure, and all of this. You can't understand what the hell is going on. It's going on for the simple fact that your spirit saying, I don't want that shit. I've been down here enough far. Also, you gotta understand some of the other people who seem to do all right is the most dead.
Yep.
You see what I'm saying? You got some people that ain't about shit, but they don't never suffer about nothing. But like the white man. And some black people. That is because their souls are still too young, especially black people. We're talking about us now. Their souls are still very young. And at this particular time, by their souls being very young, they are still intrigued with this bullshit because they haven't gone through it enough. So they're intrigued with all the physical bull out there because they haven't been here long enough. But you are hopefully supposed to be you. No matter how much wealth you get, something is still wrong. Something is still not pleasing. And that is because don't negate your contract of what you're supposed to be doing at this particular time. And now the energy is actually rising up to take care of that. will deal with some, as we go on, we will deal with what is some form of mental alchemy to try to understand what is actually going on. Now, another thing, if you get there's a book that everyone needs to be reading right now using. There's several books. First of all, one book is called Phil Cooper book. Phil Cooper's book.
The Magician. Phil Cooper, the Magician.
Magician, Phil Cooper. Everyone should get a copy of that book. Because there's a lot of magical books out, but they're very advanced. Sometimes they have a whole lot of intellectual stuff that by the time you get through the whole book, you don't even know what the hell is going on. And some of them they write for people in the order of the occult. So they want the masses of people not to really tap into it, but they actually need the money to sustain whatever occult they're in. So therefore, they put out this particular material just to get money so they can do their job. But this particular book is one of those books that's cut and dry. It's called the Studies in Effective Magic, but it's called The Magician. And in that book, I think I mentioned it last time, in that book it talks about you can't do anything, even on the physical plane, that's going to be convincing to you until you convince your subconscious that it is reality. Now, case in point, I got a friend, rejected knowledge for years. He just rejected this shit and want to hear this thing. America's all right, and all this. So about for years. So about 9 years later, recently, about last year, the brother had another brother that a sister put roots on. And as a result, he understood that something that was going on that was miraculous because he grew up around it. So immediately he called me and said, "You got a ritual, we can do this." I said, "Okay, fine." Anytime somebody called, "Okay, fine." I gave him this ritual guaranteed to work, but the ritual didn't work. Well, first of all, the ritual didn't work because his own energy was going to be the energy that would cure the brother. You see? So therefore, because he didn't believe it, he was just getting the shit just in case. I'm getting the ritual just in case. And because he did not believe it, it didn't work. You see what I'm saying? Because his subconscious was the same old Negro. Until you convince your subconscious what's going on, it doesn't work. In this particular book, Phil Cooper's book, Effective Magic, is a very good book that you need to understand. Another book is Aleister Crowley's 777 and Other Kabbalistic Writings. 777 and Other Kabbalistic Writings. The book will throw you off because the first form of the book is breaking down the advanced Kabbalistic structure in how this particular Kabbalistic or the Kabbalah actually works. But the point you want to get is you want to turn the book until you actually see on the page by itself, 777. And you will see something called, you want to turn to the book until you see what is called the tables of correspondence. And it has every element in the universe, the gods, the stones, the zodiac broken down on number. And from those numbers, you can line up things to understand more about yourself on a numerical value. As a matter of fact, Richard King used the book also when he wrote African Origins of Biological Psychiatry to explain.
So listen, all my work is proven that it's real for you to tap in. With me using this new technology, I have to give you reference work so you don't think that I'm trying to have you to be a follower. This is about you tapping into your higher self and you becoming a leader. And even if I have to follow, not literally, but spiritually.
That was one of the books Richard King used.
So Richard King on the melanin and the melanin process, the melanin soup. So if you read a Richard King book, it'll be the equivalent to a Spider-Man Miles Morales type book to prove that we are everywhere.
In that book, at the back of the book, they have a whole bunch of numbers, and if you know how to tap into them, right, you can hit the lottery. But then again, on the other hand, there ain't time for that shit now, so therefore you might not be successful with it. But on the other hand, what is also happening is there's a part in that particular book. There's a part in that book that has numbers. And the number 209, which was supposed to be Proposition 209, which is the affirmative action type thing that you come down and tell all these niggas that you through with this Proposition 209. We looked it up and it first said it was to reward people. Which was what? 1964, 1965 Civil Rights Act. So the first one was to reward people. The second one, it said to take away from people. So we understand that the government was dealing with the esoteric knowledge in which they do, because they have all our information, when they would give a certain reward to us. That reward also, when it said 209, it said to reward and also said to take away. We understand that how certain things go about and how they use certain things in the occult realm. But that particular book is a very interesting book that you can actually need to get and to line up certain amount of things that's actually going on. The movie Handmaid's Tale. How many people saw the movie Handmaid's Tale? Go back and study the movie Handmaid's Tale. I saw the movie in 91, a year after it was made in 1990. And in the movie, they showed them putting black people on trucks and shipping them out into concentration camps. The information that has come down recently is that the footage they showed in 1990 in this movie Handmaid's Tale starring Robert Duvall and what's the other woman name? But I know Robert Duvall is one of the people. In that particular movie where they showed them, they call them the sons and daughters of Ham. And they showed them shipping them out in concentration camps on in the back of these trucks, and they had people in suits and all this PP suits and all that. The information that has come down recently is that that was actually real footage.
Democrats worked tirelessly to stop Donald Trump. Cory Bush attacked Kamala Harris, calling her.
All right. What I want you to understand is that the psychological program, how much work that's at play against you. How important it is for you to have your psyche workshops, and as well as to sign up for your psyche workshops and your psyche consultations. I very rarely be able to go dive deep in, but this is my control where I be able to dive deep in and give enough reference work. You get what I'm saying? I got clothes all in my mouth because I do natural work. Clothes all in my mouth because of molars removed, whatever the case may be. So besides the comments and your opinions, I hope you be able to understand the work that I was able to lay down and display to you. It's very important for you to be able to create your own commune. All right. On YouTube, I want to thank everybody. Tap in, link up, likes, share, and subscribes. All love. Love you.